What's first debate over the weekend, Hill?
The economy is expected to expand 2.5% this year.
Boosting Korea's ties with its global partners on the sidelines of the status UN summit.
A massive drone attack on Ukraine overnight on Monday and Tuesday.
Arirang.
여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in taking a deep dive into the heart of Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news, K-culture in photos, and in our K-food segment, we discover the best anju to have with Korean drinks. You're not familiar with anju yet? Well then, stay tuned. And we're going to do all of that together with my co-host Walter Lee joining us this Monday. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and hello to everyone watching K-Culture Dive. I'm Walter Lee, to co-host alongside Soa and fill you in with some exciting K-entertainment stories.
So to start Monday off, we're going to talk about 3 of the hottest K-pop acts at the moment.
I think so, yes.
So who's first?
Well, of course, let's kick off with BTS. Now, according to a chart preview published by Billboard on Sunday local time, the latest BTS album, you've all heard it by now, Arirang, climbed 17 spots from number 26 last week to number 9 in the Billboard 200, Billboard's main albums chart. That's a huge leap. Billboard said it had a 62% increase in equivalent album sales, driven by the release of a special vinyl LP edition featuring 2 additional bonus tracks, Voice Message, Love Song, and also Normal. Interestingly, Billboard also credited BTS's performance of Dynamite during the halftime show of the 2026 FIFA World Cup final for helping drive out album sales. Also, on the subject of albums returning to the Billboard 200, but not quite on K-pop, but we are still talking about pop, and the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and his iconic 1982 album Thriller climbed to number 8, with Billboard attributing its resurgence to renewed interest in his music following the commercial success of his biographical film Michael.
Well, talk about an unexpected chart matchup.
Yes.
BTS and Michael Jackson
Yes.
on the same Billboard chart. Who would have
Yes.
thought years ago?
Different generations.
I
but
know.
yes.
And let's now talk about another boy group that's making a name for itself as well, Cortez.
Yes, we've been keeping a close eye on Cortez, and on Sunday, their agency Big Hit Music announced that the group has officially surpassed 1 billion cumulative streams on Spotify. Now, that's the world's largest music streaming platform. So the rookie group, though they don't seem rookie, reached the milestone just under a year after their debut, which was in August. This is amassing just over 1 billion Spotify streams across 13 songs as of July 24th. The impressive total includes tracks from Cortez's first and second mini albums, along with Mention Me, the original soundtrack for the sports comedy animated basketball film GOAT. Now, adding to the group's momentum, Red Red, released in April, has now topped Spotify's weekly Top Songs career chart for 13 consecutive weeks, underscoring the song's enduring popularity. Now, Cortez will celebrate the first anniversary of their debut with Cortez Tour Birthday Party, Put Your Phone Down, a special concert set to take place in Seoul this August.
Well, I wonder what many more records they're going to break on their anniversary day.
Yes.
But last but certainly not least, let's talk about Blackpink's Jennie and her newest song that I'm probably going to sing, not sing, but listen to throughout summer, but maybe also sing.
Yes, of course. So, yes, according to Jennie's agency, OA Entertainment, her latest single, Less Than a Lover, released last Friday, debuted at #1 on the iTunes Top Songs chart in 27 countries and regions. Now, that's the highest number of #1 iTunes rankings achieved by a new K-pop solo release this year. Shortly after its release, the song topped YouTube's worldwide music video trending chart and climbed near the top of Melon's Top 100, South Korea's leading music streaming chart. Now, Jennie actually gave the first live performance of Less Than a Lover at New York City's Governor's Ball Music Festival. This is actually before the song dropped. Now, Less Than a Lover tells a tale of excitement and lingering emotions of a relationship that exists somewhere between friendship and maybe romance as well. Now, unlike her intense energy songs that she's come out with earlier, like Jennie, Less Than a Lover goes with a more softer tone. And what fans seem to enjoy the most is that Jennie's able to have also a signature delicate voice, which brings the song in a way to another level, making the track as one of this year's standout K-pop solo releases.
Right, and what fans also seem to really appreciate about the song is the cinematic music video, which Jennie actively participated in directing as well.
Right.
Well, thank you very much for those enter updates, Walter, and stick around.
Will do.
All right, now it's time to go over to our AI anchor Arirang for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Sua. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. The UNESCO World Heritage Committee has approved the expansion of Korea's tidal flats on its World Heritage List. During the committee's 48th session, currently underway in Busan, it approved the Phase 2 extension of Gaebae, Korean tidal flats, to include those in Yeosu, Gohung, Muan, and Seosan, in addition to the 4 sites inscribed in 2021. The committee said the Korean tidal flats meet UNESCO's criteria for biodiversity and threatened species conservation, citing their outstanding natural value and critical role in protecting internationally important migratory waterbirds and diverse marine ecosystems. First Lady Kim Hae-kyung, who accompanied President Lee Jae-myung on his visit to San Francisco, promoted the beauty and cultural value of traditional Korean paper, hanji, at the cultural event. Speaking at a hanji fashion show held in San Francisco last Friday, local time, Kim highlighted that hanji, which has preserved Korea's history for centuries, is expanding into new fields including art, crafts, design, and fashion, bridging the past and the future. She also expressed hope that hanji will be inscribed as a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage of humanity, saying such recognition would elevate its status as a shared cultural asset for all humanity. The Boryong Mud Festival, one of South Korea's top summer festivals, has kicked off at Daecheon Beach in Boryong, Chungcheongnam-do Province. Despite the sweltering heat, long lines formed at the entrance, with festival grounds filled with mud-covered local and international visitors diving into the festivities. This year's new features include a mud cask zone housing 20 mud massage facilities and an infinity pool overlooking the ocean, alongside family-focused areas and a dedicated children's water park. The main stage hosts interactive shows, while evening programming features EDM and DJ sets, drone light shows, and the K-Hip-Hop Festival. The festival runs through August 9th. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
Through a single photo at a time, we take a closer look at culture in Korea. This is K-Culture in Photos. Today's Korean keyword is 휴가, meaning vacation. I picked this word because Korea is entering what's often called the late July, early August vacation period, the busiest travel season of the year. So, what comes to mind when you hear the word vacation? For many Koreans, the word instantly brings to mind places by the water, like a refreshing beach or a quiet river. Some spend their vacation rafting through scenic valleys, while others head somewhere with clean air to enjoy a sky filled with stars. Some people prefer a slower escape. Peaceful forest, open ranches, and countryside retreats have become popular places to unwind.
Camping is also booming. Whether it's pitching a tent or traveling in a camper van, more Koreans are choosing nature over crowded tourist spots and making the journey itself part of the vacation. And speaking of vacation plans, many travelers begin their journey here, Incheon International Airport. The terminals are buzzing with excitement as thousands of travelers get ready for their next adventure. Vacation season brings a surge of travelers with Koreans flying abroad and visitors from around the world arriving to experience Korea. Every corner is filled with people checking in, dropping off luggage, and making their way to the departure gates. Oversized suitcase, backpacks, and carry-ons, you can almost guess who's leaving for a long adventure and who's just arriving home. But here, travelers are getting more than just a flight. Throughout the airport, giant visitor screens and exhibition spaces have been transformed into a free public art gallery, showcasing works by Korean media and sculpture artists. Some pause to admire the artwork, while others stop to snap a photo before boarding. At Incheon Airport, the journey begins with art long before takeoff. Take a look at this room with mirrored walls, energetic choreography, and people following the instructor's every move. It looks just like a K-pop dance practice studio. But this is actually a university classroom. These are international students taking part in a Korean summer program where K-pop dance is one of many hands-on experiences introducing them to Korean culture. With every beat, they do their best to keep up, some smiling with excitement, others concentrating on every move. Along with dance, the program also introduces students to Korean cooking, taekwondo, and other traditional cultural experiences. And after all the hard work comes the fun part, striking playful poses, flashing finger hearts, and celebrating together. For many of these students, learning K-pop isn't just about mastering choreography. It's about making memories they will take home long after the music ends. The summer heat isn't just tough on people. Zoo animals are feeling it too. To help them stay cool, zookeepers prepare special frozen trees filled with fruit, vegetables, or even fish. Ring-tailed lemurs happily lick chilled fruit, while elephants enjoy icy watermelon before heading into the water for a refreshing splash. Polar bears beat the heat by diving into the pool for fish and fruit frozen inside blocks of ice. Tigers make spectacular leaps into the water, while monkeys happily munch on cooling snacks prepared especially for them. These creative treats not only help lower their body temperatures, but also encourage natural behaviors and keep them active. Giraffes enjoy a frozen fruit feast. Pandas stretch out on giant blocks of ice while munching on bamboo. And bears cool off by nibbling fruit hidden inside ice. It's fascinating to see that every species has its own way of staying comfortable. Just like us, they all have their own favorite way to beat Korea's summer heat. From summer getaways to unforgettable experiences, that's how Korea is making the most of the season.
The K-food craze these days goes far beyond food itself. It now includes Korean alcoholic beverages as well. At the K-food promotional booth running alongside the UNESCO World Heritage Committee session in Busan, for instance, traditional Korean liquor has also been drawing plenty of attention from visitors, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy to think, even when Hallyu first started, that when you think of Korean liquor, most people would think of soju. But now it seems that people who become more interested in K-culture now think of makgeolli, like you said, the traditional liquors, as well as, you know, fruit-flavored soju as well.
Exactly. So as I hinted at the beginning of the show, today we are going to explore the best anju, or Korean bar snacks and dishes to enjoy with these alcoholic beverages. And who's our go-to person when it comes to K-food? Of course, our cooking content creator, Matthew, who's joining us here in the studio. Hello, Matthew. Welcome back.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, everyone. 안녕하세요.
Looking good in your hanbok as always, Matthew. So let's ask you the first question. When you think of summer in Korea, what's the first drink and food pairing that you would think of?
I think for Korean summer, there would be two essentials. The first one would be the fatty samgyeopsal fried with kimchi and very cold soju. And the second one that comes to my mind, I think it would be chimek, which is chicken and beer. But like the way they serve the beer in Korea, they freeze the cups so the beer doesn't get too like they keep the flavor very cold, so it doesn't get very flat too fast. So I think these are very good menus for Korean summer.
Okay,
Yeah.
samgyeopsal, so pork belly and
Soju
chicken
and chicken and beer.
and beer. Okay.
Definitely the chimek craze has gone all across the world. It's becoming such a big trend these days.
Right.
And okay, so let's go through them one by one, right? So when we talk about the best foods to pair with soju, like you said, samgyeopsal or pork belly, it's best with soju, which is, you know, Korean distilled liquor. What is it about soju that makes those foods such a perfect match, do you think?
I think soju has its like the very refreshing and the neat flavor that goes very well with like all the fatty foods. But I would say it goes well with like all kind of like hot soups or even cold dishes, which we have like a lot of them in Korea. But for me, it goes very, very well with ice cream or other kind of desserts I tried. So it's kind of like we would say soju pairing in Korea, like we do like wine pairing, like outside of Korea. But yeah, that feels like pairing, soju pairing for me. So I just feel like samgyeopsal is just the number one for soju pairing. And then the second one, I think it would be 국밥, which is very good after the next day you drink.
Right.
And then you just eat, it's very comforting and it brings down alcohol, brings the second thought, should I quit soju, but I want to drink again, so.
All right, and
Yeah.
just to add for our foreign viewers, 국밥 would be the combination of kuk, a hearty soup, and pap, which is rice. And we
yeah.
put the whole bowl of rice inside the kuk. That's why we call it 국밥. And as you
Right.
said, it's also a very great food to eat after the soju night as well, the next day. One of the
next day.
favorites.
But then you start thinking, should I have one glass of soju again? So it's nice, but danger.
Right, we should be careful with that excessive drinking, of course.
Right.
But Matthew, let's shift from soju to 맥주, and 맥주 being beer. And I mean, beer is familiar almost everywhere around the world. But what's also very familiar is chimek, as you mentioned before, chicken and 맥주, or chicken and beer, fried chicken and beer, which has become a cultural phenomenon already around the world. But here's the but. Could you actually recommend also some other great Korean food pairings that go well with beer?
I think the second would be like the first, like very big essential of having a cold beer is chicken. But the second one, I think it would be 골뱅이 무침, which is sea snails mixed with many kind of vegetables and cold noodles. And it's kind of it has like the sweet and spicy flavor, which goes very well with ice cold beer. But I would also say I enjoy spicy squid, like stir-fried spicy squid. You can mix it with samgyeopsal, with pork belly, or other like. In Korea, they have like not only samgyeopsal but many kind of different barbecue like meats and stuff. So like I think the beer, ice cold beer, goes very well, like very comforting, and it brings down the spiciness from your mouth. So it's very refreshing and cool.
Okay.
Yes, and now we move on to makgeolli. We can't leave that out, and that's actually very famous during a wet season, and we're kind of in a wet season at the moment, especially on rainy days, because it's a great pairing with pajeon, or what we would translate in English as sort of like a spring onion crispy pancake, which is delicious. I recommend every visitor to try. But besides this pajeon or spring onion pancake, do you have any other recommendations of pairings that go well with makgeolli?
And makgeolli, of course, being what we would in English maybe call rice wine.
Rice wine.
It is an alcoholic beverage that's made out of rice.
Yeah, we would say it's fermented rice wine, right?
Right.
I think pajeon or any other kind of Korean pancakes are very classic menus for makgeolli pairing, but I would also recommend, I think it's one of my favorite Korean dishes, which is bossam, or you say suyuk if they use other parts of meat. But bossam and fresh kimchi, we call it gochori. It goes very well with makgeolli, like the sweet, the very soft flavor. It pairs very well with the fatty pork. It's very tender because we boil it in the hot water, right, for a long time. So it's very tender, fatty, but it pairs very well with makgeolli. So.
And I
yeah.
think we see you making, in the video, we see you making something with tofu. Could you
Right.
explain that maybe also?
That's kimchi, dubu kimchi. That's the stir-fried kimchi. And I very like the combination of that because we have the spicy and sweet taste of kimchi, but it goes very well with that very soft, kind of pre-boiled tofu, which is very good pairing for makgeolli too. So I very like it.
I enjoy that myself, and I think
I would very recommend that because usually people go for pajeon, right? From people from abroad, but they don't very know what locals actually what we eat in Korea. So I would recommend that menu.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I think those foods that you just mentioned that go well with makgeolli, you can get those at those traditional markets like Gwangjang Market,
Right.
Jongno, Ilji로, those areas in the capital Seoul. But now, Matthew, Korean pubs serve an incredible variety of anjus. So would there be any kind of hidden anju that you would recommend to foreigners that they are not familiar with right now, probably?
I think very common for us would be 계란찜, which is a very soft, fluffy steamed egg. I think everyone would like it. Sometimes they put cheese on top, or sometimes they put cut veggies inside. So it's very nice anju for soju and beer as well. But the second one, I think it sounds very simple, but it's sweet corn together with melted cheese, which is we call it konchizu.
Yes.
Right. So I think it's very addictive 술집, like the alcohol pairing
Pub
dish. Yeah.
menu, yes. Sometimes they give those as what we in Korea like to call service, so just like an extra dish that they give just like a side dish, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's sort of on the house kind of thing.
Like
But-
kind of appetizer kind of thing, like when you wait for the main dish.
Right.
But I think it's very nice to have it with soju or beer. But also, I would recommend if you're looking for something more fulfilling your stomach, I think you could go for kimchi-jjigae, gochujang-jjigae, or 자돌 된장찌개, which is brisket, 된장, soybean paste soup, or even spicy fish stews, which is 어묵탕 or 동태탕, which is very great pairing for soju, or even I think all those kind of more heavy dishes, it's good for midnight snack, midnight meals. So it's very nice for soju.
Right. And now you're our K-content food creator, so to speak, and you cook a lot of Korean food. So now we're talking about the pairings. Is there maybe some simple dish that you can maybe show to or describe to our viewers, along with probably the best pairing to that food?
I would recommend, I think, cucumber salad, spicy cucumber salad, which we called in Korea 오이무침. It's very easy to make. You just need gochugaru, which is red crushed pepper, crushed red pepper, right?
Yes, red chili flakes maybe.
Right. And then you need gochugaru garlic, vinegar, sesame oil, and if you like gochujang, you can put half spoon of gochujang, mix it together. It's very fresh, refreshing, and easy to make. I think it takes less than 10 minutes, but it also goes well with all kinds of soju, beer, or makgeolli. So I think it's very enjoyable, and it doesn't, cost you much time to make it. So it's very nice.
Great
Very quick and
recommendation.
easy. Yeah. Now these days we're seeing more creative Korean alcoholic drinks, such as like fruit-flavored soju, and also matcha makgeolli, which is like the green tea rice wine, right? And also fruit-flavored lychee makgeolli, for example.
Lychee?
I say
Lychee.
lychee.
You say lychee?
Lychee. Oh, why is lychee?
In Australia, we say lychee.
Okay.
Lychee. Okay.
So what kinds of dishes pair best with these sort of new experimental drinks?
I think since like matcha makgeolli, lychee makgeolli, or like I think long time ago we had like sunari, which is like Korean orange soju. Like they actually, when I go outside of Korea for like traveling abroad, they have more flavor, like they have more kinds of soju than they actually have in Korea, which is very surprising for me. But the taste is very light and sweet. So I would go for kind of lighter dishes, which could be fried chicken, not very like soup kind of dish, but like fried chicken, or like even spicy rice cakes on the skewers, or maybe Korean fried dumplings, which is a very good balance with the fruit flavored soju. But surprisingly, since it's sweet, it goes very well with desserts as a birthday cake, or maybe cheesecake or ice cream. So I think it's a very good pairing.
All right. Thank you very much, Matthew. That's all the time we have today. Now, before we wrap up, we'd also like to remind our viewers that excessive drinking is not good for your health. So please drink responsibly. And with that, thank you very much, Matthew, for joining us today. See you next time.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
And thank you, Walter, as always. We're going to have you back here later this week.
See you later.
Thanks for watching, and for your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.